does the bad blood or the stuff that happened last year carry over into this season?
I don't know. We'll see what happens when the puck drops, right? No, our main objective is to get 2 points, right? So that's what we're trying to do.
How would you assess Austin's ability to play through the stuff that he has to take? Battling Ben yesterday. How would you assess basically his toughness?
Yeah, I think for a superstar, he complains about absolutely nothing. He deserves to complain about a lot more, but that's just the type of guy Matty is. Matty, I think he leads by example, and he just does all the little things the right way, and he never complains, and he battles his butt off for us. So, it's obviously great to have a player like that on your team.
When you the last couple weeks for you been like since camp came to an end, what you had to do was now getting this opportunity again to get back in the lineup?
Yeah, that's been fine. It's a long year, things happen, right? So obviously just make sure I'm prepared for whatever happens, and I think I've done a good job of doing that, and now I get an opportunity to play. So like I said, I'm really excited.
When you think back over the years, you played for quite a while, how difficult has the start of the season been for you, or different?
I'd say more different than difficult. I think everything comes with its challenges, right? And for me, it was being put on waivers and getting sent down, and then just skating by myself and trying to be prepared. And I was lucky enough to get called back up, and I was skating with the team for about a week and a half now, so I feel completely prepared. And I'm just excited. I'm just ready to get to some game action.
Mark, can you take us through? It was such a scary fall there, a collision in the boards at the end. What happened from your perspective?
Oh, I think. I don't know. I felt like I caught a rut or something, and on the way down, it was just, we were going in hard for the puck. So, definitely don't want to be going into the end wall that hard too often. But thankfully, everything's good.
Austin takes a lot of abuse, as top players do. I'm wondering if you could assess his ability to play through that.
Yeah, he goes to the hard areas. He's in front of the net. I think again last night we saw he blocked a big block in our zone. So he plays hard. He finishes checks, so there's going to be bumps and bruises, but hopefully everything's good and he feels good for games.
Nete obviously didn't play a ton, but your perspective on him and how he might fit in?
Yeah, I think for us it's just about being really solid and moving pucks up there forward. Last night with special teams and all that sort of stuff, I think the minutes weren't crazy high, but you got to be able to play in any role on a winning team, and I think for us it's just about being really, especially in last night's game when it's tight, be really solid defensively and move pucks up.
Dumb question, but how important is it for the team to have faith in its goalies?
Well, yeah, I think not goalies. I think everybody. I think we've got a lot of talent there and a lot of depth as well. I think like Schaller and Waller, came in and played for us last year. Obviously, two very, very talented goalies with Murr and Sammy. So, no doubt it's important, and we strongly believe in them. And then we have to play well in front of them to give them the ability to let their skills come out and their to make the game predictable and I don't want to say easier, but build their confidence and trust they can know where pucks are coming from and how to read the play, and so they're confident in how they have to play.
With us, Ilya seems actually pretty funny. He's always talking about smiling and all that. What's he like behind the scenes? Yeah,
he's been really quiet, I think, to start, but I think you're seeing some of the personality come out over the last couple of weeks, and obviously getting some good results and playing well for us and doing what he's been doing has been great, and I think building confidence and feeling more and more comfortable every day. The trip we had up north, I think, was great for guys like him, and certainly on a big road trip here, getting out together, some more time spent together, going out to eat with one another, and spending off days together, I think will only help that for him, and he's been great. Certainly does seem like he's got some good humor and really enjoys being at the rink and being around the group as kind of time has gone on here.
John, how would you assess Austin's ability to play through the stuff that top guys, as you know, have to play through?
Yeah, it's second to none. I think anytime you're someone with his skill set and one of the best in the league, it's because you have to play through stuff. Every night you're the primary focus. Is the other team trying to shut you down and limit what you do well and your impact on the game? And there's a physical side to that. There were some bumps for him last night. So, but how much he puts into his craft, and I think himself. mentally and physically to prepare, and what he has to do to be at that level and to accept those challenges is as good as anyone in the league. So, he's such a leader for us in that aspect.
Sorry about that. There's 5 games in the season, 9 days into the season. So much has happened around this team already. Does it feel like it's only been 9 days, or is that just life in a Canadian market?
I think that's just life in the Canadian market. Early in the season, it always seems one day, are we really that good, or are we not really that good? I think we just kind of stay the course and just try to get better each and every day. It's a difficult league. The challenge is tough, and obviously we really believe in our group and the confidence we have in our team and the depth we've had. So, we still know we got a lot better in ourselves and to play better and find ways to get certain parts of our game going. But there's been a lot of good things, and great opportunity for us now to go on the road and kind of come together and have a strong trip here that can only continue to bring the team closer on and off the ice.
Just going to ask about that. If 3 days in Gravenhurst was good fun, what's 5 games on the road going to be like?
Well, first and foremost, we obviously got to take care of business, but definitely, getting into that rhythm and mentality of being on the road and that type of routine and what that can do for the group. So, shift our focus to that a little bit, and I think it'll be great. Obviously some really good tests, some tough environments to play in. So we're going to have to be at our best and continue to improve our game.
Obviously, win is a win,
Nick
John.
Robertson's debut last night.
Pardon?
Nick Robertson's debut last night. What stood out the most?
I think you just continue to see the calmness in his game a little bit. He's such a bull. A little bit more composure, I think, to the way he's playing and really understanding of when to use that that speed and that power that he has, and obviously the great shot that he has, and reading the play and his play away from the puck. And I think just the whole process of a 60-minute game and just understanding the ebbs and flows, shift to shift. And then obviously once he's getting the puck, you can just see the comfort level that he has, making plays and understanding the time and space and what he does so well. So just continues to grow. So it's been a really good start for him here. Obviously through training camp and a good one last night. So obviously great for our group and great for him.
Does it add a little bit of a different dynamic? Obviously a win is a win, but when a young guy like him comes up and has such a dramatic impact in picking up a big win, does it add a little different dynamic to the group?
For sure. I think whether it's Robbie's case or you have other guys step up that maybe aren't traditionally, the guys that provide the big goal or have a couple big goals and provide that offense. Obviously he's capable of that, but him coming up and getting in his first one and other kind of guys that are unsung heroes at times, that's really uplifting for the group, and I think brings great energy. It's a lot of fun to see those guys get rewarded, and it's needed, and it's what brings teams together, and obviously helps us win over 82 games of a season and getting the results that we need. So for sure, it brings a great energy and excites everyone when you see guys come up and do what Robbie did yesterday.
You're coming down on that rush in overtime last night with the Rocket Richard Trophy winner. I'm wondering if you're surprised at all that he would pass off.
I mean, not really. I mean, he's obviously a goal scorer. He makes the right plays in any situation. I think their goalie, they kind of respected who was shooting, and kind of he knew that and paused him and dished it over, and fortunately winning.
How do you feel about his ability to play through the stuff top offensive guys have to play through?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult at times. I know he wasn't practicing with us today, but he's definitely a resilient guy, and I mean, every top player has to go through something, and it's like him, the best players always find a way to produce.
Maintenance day for Austin, obviously. Just your thoughts on giving him that? I guess he needs it.
Yeah, you'd give him those days throughout the season. He played a lot of minutes yesterday, and then obviously got banged up a little bit too, so it was a pretty easy one to give him. But he was in and got his work in. He was in the gym and doing his thing and getting ready for tomorrow.
Wayne was just saying he never complains, Austin, basically, considering all the stuff he plays through. Just what stands out about his ability to just kind of keep going with what he faces?
Yeah, it is really impressive for a guy that it draws so much attention from the opposition, and we've talked about it over the years about how he hasn't drawn that many penalties, and I don't know if there's been many examples where you could say where he's complained or been emotional about it. He just plays the game and allows the referees to call the game as they see it. Maybe the coach has a few things to say from time to time, but Austin himself he just plays and takes care of what he can take care of, and doesn't look for any additional help or anything like that. Of course, like I said last night, there was the calls against him. I think were definitely warranted, and there's probably a couple in there that you could have found in addition to that. I mean, it's a subtle and sneaky cross check from Ben on Austin there. Hard one to find or to call, but those are the ones that obviously the league doesn't want to see. And I think more often than not, then those type of things would get called if they're seen. But again, he just played through that the rest of the game, and then ends up, making a big play to win us the game in overtime.
What makes you want to give Wayne a look maybe tomorrow night?
We don't want him to sit too long here. Now we have the flexibility to move guys in and out. I thought Wayne had a good camp with us. Like we talked about, there's a number of guys, whether it's Wayne or Kyle Clifford or guys that haven't played with us, that are down with the Marlies, that had good camps, and Simmonds and Clifford particularly, these are guys that, were important parts of our team last year, and they're an important part of our culture and an important part of our group. So having Wayne up here and having flexibility with our lineup and roster, I think it's important to get him involved.
Wins and losses get magnified early in the season, but it's only been 5 games in 9 days. A lot has happened around this team. Is that just the nature of a Canadian market, or does it feel like it's been a long stretch?
I think it's the nature of the market. I mean, that's the way that it goes, but it's also because there's high expectations of our team. There's high expectations from us here internally too, but we've got to keep things in perspective and know it's an 82-game grind, and we just got to keep getting better every day.
What have you liked about the team so far? There's been a lot of talk about what people haven't liked from the outside. What have you liked about what your team's shown through 5?
Well, I think the three games that we've won, what really stands out, those are very tight games, that we have to be really disciplined, or you have to, be resilient and respond to moments where things go bad. And our team has shown that. So that's what you're hoping would happen with a team as experienced as ours. So that's been really positive for me. And the fact that we've found ways to get 6 points here, despite the fact that we haven't found our rhythm here quite yet, both, whether it's at 5-on-5 or on the power play offensively, we haven't started to click here yet. And we will. I think we have great confidence that will be the case. It's not unlike last season. And then as it turns out, we end up being one of the best offensive teams in the league, and we have guys that have career highs. So we expect that we'll get there again. It's a process, and we got to be patient with it, and just keep trying to get better every day.
What are you looking forward to with this, if anything, really over the next 5 games on the road? Sort of a team bonding, building opportunities.
Yeah, I think it comes at a good time early in the season where the guys can get away. A 5-game trip is a long one for sure, but going to great cities and good opportunity for the group to be together and have fun and compete on the road. So I think it's a really good and healthy thing. Like we had our trip to Gravenhurst, and that was a really good one for us too. But this one here, right in the thick of the season in terms of competing virtually every second night or so. But to do it together and travel around different cities and such, I think it's a really good and healthy thing for our group.
With him getting an opportunity, what's the conversation like with someone like a Nicolas Sauvé-Coubel who's new and trying to kind of find his way around the team? Yeah, it's just, that I think he's done some good things for us. I think physically, in each of the games he's played, he's pretty much led the way for us physically, and we've liked that about his game. I think there's other areas that just haven't quite come together here yet, is what we talked about, and him coming out of the lineup is frankly less about him and more about just wanting to get Wayne involved. But at the same time, my message to Kubi is just he hasn't done enough to where he's not part of that conversation in terms of who could come out to make room for Wayne. So it's kind of where we're at. But everybody here is important, and we're going to need everybody to be at their best, and that includes Simmer, who's going to go in, and then the guys who come out. And when you get your opportunity again, just continue to get better.
You touched on the on having extra guys that a week ago maybe you weren't going to have for this trip. How important is that, and who else may come on the trip? A couple of the injured guys maybe to keep working out, or?
It is nice to have us when you go on the road, especially when you're going to head out west, because getting guys is a challenge. But I think it's just very, very good to get more people involved, because you're going to need more than just those guys you started the season with. And as it turns out, it was pretty quick that we needed guys. But that's the reality of it. So much like I'm talking about with Wayne and not having him sit around for too long and get in and get some action, you're going to need guys. So to have more people around and playing, I think is good and healthy for our team. And then at the same time, as we talked about it, that's extra layer of competition and accountability to everybody's play. So I think that's really important. And like I was saying, we still haven't found our groove and rhythm here as a team, so that makes it a little bit easier for me to make some of those decisions.
How pleased are you with how Ilya has performed?
He's been great. It's not just how he's performed, but it's how he's put in the work, his demeanor around the facility. Coming into a new team, I think he's really starting to earn the respect and trust of the group, and guys are starting to get a sense of his personality, and he's fitting in really well that way. So, we can't help but be really encouraged and positive with what he's brought to us so far.
So just back to Lance's question, are any of the injured guys going to come on the road with you?
Yeah, so I don't. That is not the case. No, I'm not expecting any of those guys. Obviously, maybe that could change at some point during the trip, but at this point, they're not going to be coming with us.
Is there any clarity on Jake's Muslin's status? I know you guys haven't had a timeline, but there's been some reports it's looking long term.
I haven't. I don't have any updates on that either way. I know that I think it might be today that he was supposed to have another follow-up and appointment, and maybe have more after that. But right now, I'm just going to continue to let things settle down there for him and get a better idea of where he's at.